So we're going to talk about composition writing, and we are going to talk about narrative compositions. So we are going to have 8 steps of plotting a story. So I'll talk about reduction, exposition, complication, conflict, crisis, climax, dissolution, and conclusion. So I have to start from narrative composition. So this is just a started composition that they want you to write the story and finish it. Here in the narrative composition, you have to finish from you have to continue from the story that you've been given, the rubric that you've been given. You have to continue. Then let's now talk about the 8 steps of plotting the story. So these are the 8 steps that you must have. The introduction. So your introduction should be unique in that it should be like not the same for everyone. Like you having it only your own. So it should be different from the rest. So always think out of the box. So it should be catchy. This means that it should be like a hook to make sure that this your introduction will make sure it will make the reader want to read more of your story. And then it should be witty, but remember, must be appropriate. Let's go to number 2, that is exposition. So this is just elaboration. So you give full explanation of events here. So it can be marked by words like suddenly, all of a sudden, abruptly, instantly, immediately, gradually, eventually. So those are the some of the words that you can use. And then number 3, we have complication. Here is creating a twist of fate, and this one marks the beginning of problems in an otherwise smooth situation. I repeat, in complication, it's just creating a twist of fate, and it marks the beginning of a problem in an otherwise smooth situation. For example, let me give you one example. Like in a journey, when all is fine and then out of unexpected, there is a tire burst, and maybe the spare wheel is also flat. Let's go to conflict. Here is where we are talking about 2 or more opposing forces come in. For example, a matatu breaking down in a muddy terrain at a rush hour. The passengers do not want to give a hand in pushing the vehicle, yet they argue and blame the driver. The conductor, on the other hand, does not want to refund the money paid as fare. Everyone is arguing and no agreement is arrived at. Those are just examples that I'm giving. So let's go to number 5, that is crisis. Here's the advanced stage of conflict where things start getting out of control. So, like for example, the passengers pick up quarrels with the crew demanding their money back, but the conductor is cunningly adamant and reluctant. Let's go to the climax now. So this is the apex or the peak of your story. For example, if you continue the story about a matatu, so we can say the passengers may have by then got worked up, stormed out of the vehicle, aiming at the conductor. On seeing danger, the conductor takes to his heels, leaving the poor driver to face the wrath of the irate passengers. So, and then you have resolution. Here, people resolve the issues or complications raised in the story. Here, people resolve the issues or complications raised in the story. What I have to tell you is that when you create a problem or a conflict in your story, make sure that you have to solve it. You have to solve this conflict. So if you don't, then your story won't be chaos. So you have to solve the conflict that you created, or the problem that you created. So for example, the criminal was caught as he tried to steal from another matatu. The detectives who had been studying his crime history and past hooliganism acts caught up with him when he was about to harass the flying passengers. People who had turned up at the scene gave their remarks and a final sigh of relief. So you see here they are solving the problem. They are giving the solution to the problem. Always make sure that you give the solution to your problem. And lastly is the conclusion. Here, this is a summative decision which you made, or lessons learned. From this story, what have you learned? So you have to write lesson learned, or just a summative or a summary decision on the story. Thank you.